Assalamu alaikum. We will look at a few calculator hacks today to actually save your paper too. These calculator tips and strategies can help you save your time in paper two. It can help you give answers in paper two, and it can help check your paper two as well, right? So we will start with the first function, and I will show each function to you on the calculator as well, right? So the first function is using the fact function. Now the fact function is nothing but the factorial function. They're talking about the factorial function. Now how will we look at the factorial function on the calculator? Now for example, there is a number 963 and we need to prime factorize this number. That is required somewhere in the paper too, right? So what we do is shift and we press this button because it's written in yellow. So we need to press shift first, factorial, and it factorizes it. Okay. So this is the first function. Now let's look at the second function. These are very easy functions we are looking at, right? Okay. This is not a function, and rather I would call this a tip. Okay. So for example, if we have 20 divided by 28, 5/7, right? So if we need to find the HCF, how do we reach? The numerator, the original numerator will be divided by the simplified numerator. So 20 divided by 5 will be a 4. 28 divided by 7 will also be a 4. That is the HCF, right? And for LCM, we will multiply the numerator with the simplified denominator, and that is 20 multiplied by 7, 140. Similarly, we will multiply the denominator with the simplified numerator, and that is 28 multiplied by 5, 140. That is the LCM. So we might need it. Okay. Many people don't even know how to put a number as a mixed number. So for example, if it is 6/5, how it will come as a mixed number. So that is simply shift SD. And this is how you get it through a mixed number. If you want it in decimal, you can get it. Shift XD would give it to you in the mixed number form. Okay, now we will look at one very important function, the time function you have, right? So how are we going to play with the time function? Jenny travels 240 miles back to her home at an average speed of 52. Now this is distance, this is speed. Distance upon speed gives you time. So 240 divided by 52. That is somewhat 4 hours, and we do not have the minutes. It's basically 4.615 hours, but we can directly get it in minutes by pressing this button. Now this is 4 hours, 36 minutes. Okay, so we quickly got the answer. We didn't have to do all the multiply 60, divide by 60, whatever. And then if she leaves at 9 a.m., so this was the journey time, and then this is the departure time, 9 a.m. So we can simply add 9 and we can get the answer. And again, we can convert the answer. So it's 13:36. This is a 24-hour clock, right? So we can talk about AM, PM. Since it's giving an AM, we can say 1 PM or 1:36 PM, right? So it's giving us the direct answer. Right? Okay, another very important function. So if we see our menu, and if you want to find all these things, median, mean, we can simply find it through a function, a built-in function in our calculator. I mean, it's important to show the working, but we can use the built-in function to estimate, to check our answers. And that built-in function is statistics. So it's at 6. One variable, X frequency. Now, most of you won't be getting frequency in your calculator. So for that, what do? You go to shift setup, right? Statistics, and then it gives frequency 1 on, 2 off. So you press 1 and make it on. 0, Let's add these values 1, 2, 3. 6, 15, 11, 8. Right? And then options. Third is one variable calculator. ठीक है? Wait. Options. Third is one variable calculator. Yes. Third. You get x bar, that is the mean. You get sigma x, the total number of frequency 61 आ रही है. I don't know. एक second, ये 61 क्यों है? 6, 15, 11, 8. हाँ, okay. Right. So options. उसके बाद हम नीचे देखेंगे तो हमारी मैक्सिमम वैल्यू, हमारी मीडियन आ रहा है, हमारा अपर क्वार्टाइल, लोअर क्वार्टाइल, sorry, upper quartile, lower quartile, minimum value, and all these things. We're getting all these things, right? हमारे यहाँ sigma x 61, it's like 6 multiplied by 0 plus 15 multiplied by 1 plus 2 multiplied by 11 plus 3 multiplied by 8. Total number of values n भी आ गई 40. ठीक है, 15 plus 11 is 26 plus 6 32, 32 plus 8 40, right? So we have all these things in a matter of minutes. Okay, then we have another built-in function, that is to find the angle when we have the adjacent and when we have the opposite and the adjacent, right? So how do we do this? And that built-in function is for 90-degree triangles. So shift, wait, first let me just change it. Let me just bring it back. Yeah, so shift plus, that is the Paul function. And पहले आप उसमें adjacent लिखेंगे. Adjacent आपका 7 है. And then you put a comma. And then you write your opposite. And that is how you get your answer in radian and degrees. For math students, you do not have to do anything about radians. You have not studied. Math students already know about it. ठीक है, so ये आपका degree में answer आ गया, right? Okay, apart from that, there is another function. ठीक है, when you have the angle and when you have the hypotenuse, you can find the opposite and you can find the adjacent through another built-in function that will come through shift minus REC, right? And in that, first you input the hypotenuse, right? That is 15, and then you input the angle, that is 23. So you get the x. X is the adjacent and y is the opposite. All right. Okay. Find the value. This is a very easy function, finding the value of the reciprocal. So 1.6 minus 1 equal to, and then we can get it in decimal as well. This is how we take out the reciprocal, right? Okay, another important function when you need to find the all these values, what do? You simply again look at a built-in function. We're going to explore more built-in functions in a few moments. Table, हम ये इक्वेशन लिखेंगे 0.8 to the power x, right? G of x, there's nothing, but we start now. What's the start value? It's 0, so we change it over here. It's 0. It's ending at 6. the step is 1, and we get all the values here for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So you can just put these values. Okay, now we will be looking at some other important functions, the built-in functions inside the calculator. Obviously, if we have the calculator, then we should know how to utilize it fully. So the 10th or the 8th one is just right after the table, that is simultaneous equation. So you can solve the simultaneous equations. So 2x, 3y, 5, 6, 9, 12. Okay, maybe I put a wrong, not a wrong, but maybe parallel lines or similar equation. Didn't get a chance to look at it. Two x plus 3. Actually, 8 to wait. This is not simultaneous. Simultaneous equations to 2x, 3y, 8, 6x, 5y, 12. Okay, you get x and y values. Similarly, again, we will look at this function only, polynomial. So you can have a 2-degree polynomial, 6x squared plus 2x plus 3. ठीक है, ये x1 x2 ये I इसीलिए आ रहा है because it's in complex number right now, but if when it's the correct equation, you won't be getting into complex numbers, right? For advanced students, I will teach another tip over here. We will be using the same function a. ठीक है, आप लोगों की एक चीज होती है क्यूबिक फंक्शंस को सॉल्व करने की, right? So in that we use trial and error to find the first solution, but no need to find trial and error through trial and error. We have this and we can easily input the whole and we get the first value, and this you can take the value as trial and error and you can check your other values as well. Okay, right? Another very important function is the matrices function. So we have to define the matrices 2, 4, 6, 5, and option. Let's define the second matrix 2, 3, 9, 8. And then let's go to matrix calculation. So यहाँ से आपका matrix A आप select कर सकते हो plus matrix B. So it gives you an added value. Similarly, आप इनको multiply भी कर सकते थे. ठीक है. You can even find the determinant. So determinant function and then matrix A, let's say. So we get to the determinant as well. All right, so we can check all our matrices answers through that. Really beneficial to us. Then let's look at this ratio function. So alpha C. Okay, this X shows, that means this ratio, this part of the ratio is missing. So if we choose 1, so that means if this, let's say these values are given to us, they may be in the word problem form and we need to find, right? And this is how we can find X value. Similarly, for the other ratio, then there is an inequality function. Right, so we can, for math students, this is important, ax square plus bx plus c. We can get these in these forms of inequalities, right? अगर हम नॉर्मल इनइक्वालिटीज भी देख सकते हैं, मतलब पॉलिनोमियल्स फॉर्म में ही हम देख रहे हैं. सो फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई चूज द थर्ड वन, I can input all the values and then I can in fact find the x values directly. तो ये एड मैथ में एक बहुत frequently asked questions, अच्छे खासे मार्क्स का भी आता है, और फिर हम लोग इस हिसाब से उसकी इनइक्वालिटी जो है वो निकाल सकते हैं, राइट. Okay, so we have discussed so many functions. One more thing, it's important in terms of trigonometry. Let me come to this. Yes. For example, you have this big intermediate value. What do? It's an intermediate value. One option you have is you write it down on your sheet of paper with like 7 to 8 significant figures so that you don't make a mistake in your final answer. But the better way, I mean, you have to write that as well, but to make no sort of an error, you can store this value. So you press STO and then any letter. You do not even need to press alpha. So let's say D. It got stored in D. And then whenever you want to use it, you can press alpha D. Alpha D. Wait, let me remove it first. Yeah, so it got stored and then alpha D. Alpha D. Wait. Yeah. So you'll get that value. So you can do plus, minus, multiply, whatever function you want to use. You can just use the variable, and in that variable, that specific value is stored. So I hope you would have gained some insights upon, and this would have become better to solve your paper 2 now. And until next time, all right, okay, Allah Hafiz.